think it was a very significant achievement by the COP presidency and Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber and his leadership. Some would be surprised, but actually what he managed to do together was to bring more than 50 very large companies together, many of being national companies, to commit to recognize the need for an energy transition, promising to invest in this transition and also to reduce their own emissions. And I think it is significant for several reasons. First, the reach. It's a global effort, bringing in national companies from South America, Asia, Middle East, Africa, as well as Europe and America. So it's a group that we've never seen articulating climate ambitions before. So that's important. The other thing is the scale. The potential impact of this is massive. Look, the oil and gas industry, when it's providing energy to the people, is also consuming a lot of energy itself, thus having emissions. Possibly, those emissions are as much as 10% of the world's total emissions. So clearly, a handful of companies can do a lot to reduce overall emissions. And then the third, I think it's action-oriented. So there is a difference between governments committing to reduce emissions and companies who have their own emissions actually saying, now we're going to do it. So I think those three, reach, impact and action, those are the three things that makes it significant. So I think we bring optimism, and also the fact that, 10 years ago, companies like BP, Shell, Equinor was also at the beginning of the journey on recognizing climate and bringing emissions down. Today, 10 years after, some of them have changed to become big energy companies, some of the biggest energy companies and investors even in renewables in the world. But the big thing this week is that today we are announcing that other companies are also joining and starting their journey. So the state-owned company of India, Nigeria, Angola, Argentina, Indonesia, Malaysia, Uzbekistan, Libya, Oman, plenty of joiners. So they are also checking in and committing to be part of this and to start to address emissions, and particularly in the short term, to focus on methane, natural gas outside of the pipelines, and to bring those emissions to near zero by 2030. That's a bold move. We should celebrate that.